MLA, Malay Learning Academy, was established 9th of April 2012. Formerly it was WER, which was first registered in Christchurch, New Zealand in 1988. WER exported educational material throughout the world, but mainly the USA. It is now at the point where we want to give away 300 to 500 free lessons, including this example, the multiplication tables, through the internet via different formats of social media. This video clip is to give you a brief glimpse of what we're trying to do. So this is an overview of multiplication tables. There's a sequence of teaching in our resource packs in each of them. This is to do with multiplication. But in each stage, the first stage is to relate material to the experience of children. And we need to totally appreciate that the child's experience is totally different from the adult experience. So in essence, children are not miniature adults. When teaching adults, we would probably teach immediately to the head. For elementary school children, we need to teach to the heart and the hands. So wherever possible, content is introduced so it relates to artistic and pictorial representation, and we regard storytelling and dramas where they're appropriate as extremely important in this regard. So if the student absorbs information in this way, it is in empathy with their own experience. That's the first stage. Second stage is to encourage the student then to express through their own experience, through a variety of artistic formats, what they have learned. This stage should not be hurried. Children should be given enough time to work through a number of formats according to their ability, aptitude, temperament, and so on. This is the time when patterning activities should be introduced, so the patterns of multiplication are experienced and then created. That's the second stage. The third stage is to then start working through concrete examples. This can be achieved by using various kinds of manipulatives, through involvement in activities and games, and through problem solving. Rhythmic activities and chanting would also be appropriate at this stage. The fourth and final stage is to introduce the abstract concepts and to work symbolically with numbers. This is when computational practice would be appropriate. So this gives an overall visual view of what we're trying to do. So in each resource pack, in each lesson, there'd be a teacher's guideline showing what is included in the particular lesson, what equipment is required. It's all done in modular format, so continually the teacher can divide into groups or even individually if appropriate, and give the content that he or she knows will be appropriate to the ability, aptitude and temperament of that particular student. We regard stories as extremely important. So each multiplication table, each one, is introduced through a story. So then the student becomes very comfortable with the mathematical language that they will need to learn. Following the story, there's an activity sheet. This is for the teacher, showing the overall activity and what the student needs to learn. But when it comes to the student, so there's a table summary, they would fill it in. Student activity sheet through cooperative learning. So we do include cooperative learning where students help each other and interact with each other. Then comes patterning. So this is colouring in, and through the colouring in they see a pattern. So they're able to absorb that into their imagination. So they then feel very comfortable with the whole, finally the computational practice that will follow later. So here's the computational experience. So we're still looking at images. We're still looking at building upon the work covered in the previous unit. But even here, there's a drama. So this is a drama about Princess Starlight. So wherever possible, the drama parts are written with different readability levels in order to accommodate students with differing reading skills. And the activity allows the students to see the mathematical pattern in yet another way. So here's the story about Ziki and the Cat-Eye. Here's the different activities, making a poster. So we regard craft, the activity, as very important. So for example, for this activity, you'll need to use your imagination. So the student then has to think of this. Then it shows what they will need. So here's a craft activity following that. Here's a table summary where they have to fill it in. But here's another one, square dance the nines. So in other words, the children learn to dance, and through learning to dance, they feel comfortable because they're square dancing the nines. So they build up a rhythmic pattern, which is quite natural for any young child, and then it shows the different stages. The rhyme finally arriving at the final stage, stage 5. It also includes cooperative learning, where children will help and interact with each other. Then we investigate the number 9. So again, here we start with computational practice. And then finally, patterns. The children, through colouring in different tables, creating the tables, learn patterns. We do believe that our approach is unique. We're trying to give our lessons, 300 to 500 of them, by producing video clips, but we lack the resources to do it. We know very well that what you're looking at now is not a professional performance at all. So if you want to help or you're interested, please contact me. I spend a lot of the time in San Diego and Auckland as well. I can be contacted. Email is the most efficient way. David Metis, that's one word, David, METIS, @gmail.com. I thank you for your time. We do believe we have something to offer. We believe we can make the educational world a better place for teachers and for students. But our main passion is optimizing the well-being and learning of students. Please help us to do that. Thank you for your time.